All right, y'all are live on YouTube.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. We are excited to have you here. My name is Michelle, and I have my colleague, Tony. Before we get started, I wanted to let you all know we have a few folks that are in the background. If you have any questions, they will be able to answer any of those on the sidelines. And then if you have questions and you want to participate in the chat, we've got Paula in the chat, so make it a party in there. Today, we're going to be swapping some sides here. I know typically on our webinars, I talk a lot, but today I'm going to let Tony take over. He's had a lot going on. So Tony, tell us what you've had going on.
Hey, Michelle, thanks. Hey, I wanted to talk about a story or a conversation I had last week with one of my old customers. It was long-term customer. About 15 years ago, they came on board with Issuetrak for an IT help desk application, really just using it as a an email ticketing system for IT. And about a year ago, the CIO changed, so we had a new person in there, and he started the conversation with, Issuetrak's the bane of my existence, and I'm going to give you one chance before we move off of you. We want to drive our employees. We want to the Issuetrak portal. We don't want to operate it as a email ticketing system. I want to, do some self-help in there, drive them to a portal so we can avoid tickets. We want to pick up the spirit of ITIL. What else do they want to do? They wanted to track their assets that they had in there. And then they really wanted to up their game and get customer feedback, meaning employee feedback on how well they were doing. It was not a pleasant phone call.
Well, it sounds like something we talk about all the time, the features and the benefits. So did you tell them that we can do this in their sleep?
Yeah, it was exactly that. Hey, your application has all that. We can do that in our sleep. Unfortunately, you're on about a 4-year-old version. So for some of that stuff, you're going to have to upgrade to get some of the newer features.
Gotcha. And I know, when we're talking to new customers, we talk about all of the bells and whistles and, look at what this can do. But for some of our older folks, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. They're running things in their business model. So let's switch to the upgrade process. Do we charge for that?
No, it's part of the subscription, the Maintenance Plus subscription for the self-hosting customers, or it's included with your hosting fee for the SaaS. But you get unlimited technical support. So that's where you pick up a phone call, 20, 30 seconds later, you got a tier 2 tech. It also gets you all of the software updates.
Gotcha. And what is the process? I know a lot of times when we take on a new software, we stress about the time, but when you want to do like a big overhaul, what would the upgrade process look like for this customer?
You pick up the phone or you email support, you open a support ticket, and anybody on the support team, they can help you with an upgrade. They can do as much or as little of that you want. If your protocols allow it, they'll remote in, but they do this every day. So whenever that conversation comes up, I just push them off to our support team.
Got it. Now, we support all kinds of business models, small, large, and everything in between. Can you tell me what size this customer was specifically?
Yeah, it was a nice customer. It had about 50 techs in their IT department.
Wow. Okay. So let's kind of move things forward a little bit here. It's a tough hill to get folks to go from emailing to logging into a portal. I will admit I'm one of those people. I am quick to send a text message or knock on your door. So how did you help them navigate to the portal as opposed to using their email?
Yeah, you're right. It's a tough lift to reprogram those employees. They're just so used to hitting that send. Can I share my screen?
Absolutely.
So what we did for them was they were using Active Directory integration, so they had all their employees in the user table. but they had never enabled single sign-on.
Mhm.
So for them, it was like, hey, publish the link to your Issuetrak portal, enable single sign-on, and boom, when they click through, it takes them right to a submit page. So it was a low overhead. They're not having to remember, another user ID and another password. So it was a good user experience story, and they liked it, and they're in the process of rolling that out right now.
Perfect. And I love that you're eliminating some of that, back and forth. What is my username? What is my password? All of that. So when you talk about this, you talk about how it can be easier than submitting an email. And I don't know about you guys, but I have seen Tony type, and there's got to be an easier way. So what did you show them?
Yeah, well, filling out a form is more on my capability. And you were right. It shortens that cycle time, that back and forth communication between the employee with the problem and the tech who needs the information to fix the problem. So they're not having to add notes that get sent out as a notification, waiting for it to come back. So you can just, create your templates and put in the data points that you need so your techs can resolve that as quickly as possible.
Got it. And now, one of the things you mentioned was kind of giving them that self-help so that they can guide themselves through. And again, eliminating that back and forth, the email, what information do you need? I don't have enough, et cetera, et cetera. So what do you recommend for the self-help side of things?
We got a good story to tell. We got several options that are either in the product or add-ons to the Issuetrak application. I showed them what I've done with a couple of my customers, taking the chat and turning it into an AI application. So here I took the chat. So instead of having your techs logged in as chat agents, let's just automate this process. So, and this widget you can publish anywhere. So you could put it on an intranet site, you can leave it on your Issuetrak site, or if you are doing external facing customer support, you could publish the link on your public facing website as well. So my bot just launches in there. Hey, I'm the bot. How can I help you? And then I just put a couple of choices in here. You can make this as complicated as you want. I just said, hey, I need a little product help. My chatbot's not real bright. It's going to think for a second, and it comes back. It says, okay, what do you want? I just said, hey, I just need to do a password reset. How do I do that? And I got it linked to the articles in my knowledge base. So it just pulls it right up there. And then I go in, hey, did this help you? If it didn't, we can go into more questions or ultimately maybe transfer you to a live agent type of deal.
So real quick, I don't know about you guys in the chat here, but I am notorious for forgetting my password. I'm always having to reset it. It is the bane of my existence. But I do like that you said that you've linked it on the side. So does everyone have the same links, or can you kind of customize who sees what links on what menu?
Great. So you're talking about on the knowledge base, right?
Yes.
Right.
Well,
so
on the menu options.
Oh yeah, the menu options. I'm sorry. So going back to the self-help, I showed them a couple other things that I had. So here, this is your user-defined message that you can put on your home page. So, hey, I want to get them to count to 3 before they open a ticket and send it to one of my techs. Hey, can we send them into a self-help mode? So this just launches my knowledge base article with my FAQs. I put the same link right here on the side. So here's a menu link. It's going to take them into a self-help mode. In this case, it's my FAQs. Your question was, this link, I can control who can see that.
Yes.
So my public-facing end user type information, the FAQs, I'm just controlling the visibility so just the end users see that. So the current Issuetrak admins, you got those visibility knobs. You can control who can see your issues, your different types of templates, the reports you can share. You have the same visibility control on these menu links. We also have the knowledge base. and the knowledge base has those same control visibility knobs.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. Can you customize it? Can you have some that are, for the public to ask questions, and then some that, I want to host some of my training documents or something like that?
Exactly. So you can have your internal ones and then your ones for public consumption. When I was talking with the CIO last week, that was giving me the hard time. I said, well, you got a knowledge base in there. And he goes, yeah, I've seen that. We've turned that feature on briefly, but it didn't cut it. And I said, well, that's why we got to get you upgraded to the current version. It's much more user friendly. It's a card display, and you can just drill down into the different articles for that. This is where you have the visibility of this content. So, hey, this is the self-help section of it, and we're going to go from there.
Perfect. I love that. So one of the things that you referenced earlier was ITIL. And one thing that I love about Issuetrak is we can mold to fit your business, and we help all kinds of departments and industries and so many different types of usages. But for those that are really concerned with the ITIL standard, how can we meet those standards for our customer?
The short answer is, Michelle, we can't. We're not ITIL certified. That's not who Issuetrak is. It's not something that we're delivering. But we can pick up a lot of those best practices that are in the ITIL standards and incorporate that into our customers' Issuetrak and give them some of that capability. Let me log in as an administrator here.
Okay.
So it's just content and leveraging the features we built into the application. So on the dashboard, we can enable the dashboard filter. We call it class. And then these would correspond to your incidents, your problems, your service requests. These are the way the ITIL people categorize these different types of tickets. So they can load a panel, let's see, from a service request perspective. We can also, if you're not using issue templates, you need to. This is how we can start pre-populating these forms. So if you're old school and you're just using the issue type dropdown, it's loading a blank screen for you. There's so much horsepower you're not leveraging. So reach out to your account manager, your PS person, and we can explain that to you. Here's what I did. So I have a simple application support request. You can, and obviously this form is customized for your needs. I just pre-populate the class. So the end user, when they're driving to the portal, they're not even seeing this. They don't have the option of changing it, but when the ticket gets created, it's going into a service request versus it's an incident or a problem. And then, of course, from a change request or a change management perspective, we're going to leverage the task manager to control those processes. So from an ITIL perspective, we got a lot of good tools to support an ITIL operation without being certified for it.
Gotcha. Well, I definitely love the visuals. I am a visual person, so I like that you can quickly see what's going on from the dashboard view. But I hear a lot of folks asking, how do I know who's using what computer? What assets do I have available? So tell me about the asset management.
Great. So that was one of the pain points for the CIO. They weren't leveraging the asset management database. So with him, I did a quick screen share and said, okay, let's go to the administrative side. So we have a whole functionality built into the application for the asset management. So here, these are just the different types of assets I'm tracking in this particular Issuetrak site. Let me pull one up for us. We got some desktop PCs in there. So here, these are my data points I'm tracking on here. This is going to be the user in your Issuetrak site that this particular asset is assigned to. I also made it a default. So when this user is logged into your Issuetrak, opening a support request, it's going to pre-populate this particular desktop of hers. That's one way my customers use this, because at the end of the day, you got a couple of objectives with the assets you want to track. We want to track the service history of the asset, but we also want to track our entire inventory, what we have. So The other ways my customers use this when they're opening a support ticket, they'll just put some free text on the submit page. Hey, please type in the asset tag number that's on the printer device type of deal.
Gotcha. So it looks like we track it all. One thing I do want to add, because I do love this, and I've heard this from a lot of prospects, is, do we charge per asset? So with Issuetrak, whether you have, 5 assets or you have 700, you are charged the same amount. So that's a huge, huge differentiator for us.
Yep, there's no per asset charge. We just enable it on your site, and you can literally track as much as you want. A lot of my customers, a lot of my IT customers, they also share their site with either the facilities or the maintenance people.
Mm-hmm.
So for the facilities, it's really easy then. Hey, let's drop some asset types in there for the elevators. Let's get the service history for the elevators. Let's fire off a ticket once a year because we need to go get the elevator recertified type of deal.
Gotcha. Now, that actually brings up another conversation that I had recently. I had a customer was busted for having too many software licenses. And when they were audited, obviously, they were not very happy about that. So what can we do from an asset management standpoint to ensure that we are keeping them on track and that they're not overextending their licenses?
Okay, so here we're still on the asset page, and this is just all the information that we know about that particular device. So we can do a scan of that laptop, PC, what have you. We're going to scan the hardware that's installed on there, drives, memory, motherboards, NIC addresses, all that stuff. We can also scan the software that's installed on those drives. All of this information is available in the report writer. This is where you can create your unique custom reports. A good place for this is my IT people. They need to do a budget for next year. Well, they know they budget 3-year lifetime for a laptop. It's super simple for them to generate a report, list my laptops and the age, and then they can count how many laptops they need to do a capital budget for. Going back to your question, being busted by the software police, we have some canned reports that come with the asset database. And here, I can navigate to it, go to the admin side, pull the report up. I just bookmarked my asset report.
I love my bookmark, so it's okay.
This is the best feature. It makes it, caveman simple, so I don't have to remember. I just clicked on my reports, and we wrote a report just to keep people from getting into hot water on their software licensing. So in my site, these are the titles that I'm interested in tracking. So I told Issuetrak, look at all the assets and all those software titles that are installed. These are the ones I'm interested in. This first column, this is where I recorded my license purchases. The second column is it's going to tally up all those scans of all those assets in my asset database. So whatever this title is, I purchased one license, but I have 3 instances of it installed. So
Naughty, naughty.
Naughty, naughty. So as the IT manager, I need to rectify that problem. Click on the number. It's going to tell me exactly which 3 devices is running that particular software. So I can reach out to Lisa and say, Lisa, do you need this application? If not, let's uninstall it. If you do, then we need to go buy the appropriate licensing for you.
Absolutely. Love that. Very simple to use as well. Now, to, the feedback, the customer wanted to make sure they were getting feedback for the work that they're doing, kind of hold their team accountable. This is gaining popularity. I'm seeing more and more requests for this. So what do we offer to assist with gaining feedback?
We have a survey add-on, and the survey is customizable. You can brand it, all different types of questions, similar to a lot of other survey applications that are out there. Our value add is when this ticket is closed, the submitter will get an email invitation instantaneously, like a minute later, inviting them to take your custom survey that you created. Not everybody knows our customer support, our technical support department, they use Issuetrak. The exact same application we go out and promote to our customers and prospects, Issuetrak Tech Support uses. When your support ticket is closed, you get that survey invitation. And
Gotcha.
all the new people I talk to, I always brag about our TSAs and our technical support team and how great they are, and how much out of business we'd be without them. And regardless of what anybody says, you will need technical support at some point. Okay.
And go ahead. Sorry.
But I'm not doing this in a vacuum, making this up. That's what the surveys do for us. And we publish it right on our website, the survey stats. It's on the home page. The support team also has their own page. This is live data, meaning this is our data from last month. We pull the average time right from our phone switch. We use a really, really simple 2-question survey. Rate your customer, rate your satisfaction of engaging the support team on your support call from 1 to 10. We normalize it to 100. I've been here 10 years. I've never seen it below 90. Most months, it's above 95. I've seen hundreds quite frequently. This is what they strive for. But this is live data. This is customer positive proof that our support team does it. So, sorry, I was on my commercial. Here's I got a survey link. So I just put it on my menu. So you can really pretty these up, customize these, pick up your own color schemes, and they come in all different types of formats for you. So sorry, I got off on my soapbox. I'm sorry.
No, I love it, because I was going to say one of the things is customers cringe when they think about the support that they get or they don't get from their vendors. And so
tell them about Emma. Tell them about Emma. We worry about her going postal. She has to deal with HubSpot.
Yeah, we do. We do have some vendors ourselves that the support is not amazing. So we try on our end to make sure that we are. And in the few years that I have been at Issuetrak, I have never seen it below 95. I want to say it's sticking around like 98. But I definitely approve of our support. But another thing that I wanted to point out, I love the surveys. I love all that we can do to kind of revamp a system for someone. But we do a lot of releases. So how would one find out what is coming? So in case they don't think that we have it right now, where would they go to find that?
Oh, glad you asked. This little question mark, and it's been there in different versions. It's kind of like our online help guide. It used to be the admin manual. This has been completely beefed up. So when you hit the question mark, you can go to our online help center, and that's really your administrator's user guide. It's contextual, so you can go right to that section of the user manual for the page you're on in Issuetrak. We also have some other stuff here. So report a problem. So here's an example of a web form. You fill this out, hit next or submit. It makes an API call. It opens your ticket in our support site for you.
Shameless plug, you can get a web form for your site too, and you can customize it and use it to get accurate information.
Yes. I like the contact us. This is a lot of content. So you need to engage the support people. Here, you can go to the website, log in, because all of our customers have credentials to log into the support site, call or email them. Here, you can reach your account manager. If you don't know who it is, just go sales@issuetrak.com. Same way with your configuration engineers. Going back to your question, Michelle. So we put our release notes here. So we are doing a lot of releases. So you don't feel, obligated to upgrade every time. If you're a hosted customer, we do that for you. If you're doing 2 or 3 upgrades and you're self-hosting, that's great. So we got the release notes and then prior release notes. We also publish, did you want me to go into this other stuff here?
Yeah, you can go into the roadmap real quick. That's my
Okay.
favorite. I like to
Okay.
show everybody.
So we have our roadmap, we publish it, and then we talk about, what we've rolled out every month in terms of the new features type of deal. Now, here's what we're working on. To be honest, our developers and development management, they hold their cards close to the chest. They're really only looking, or not looking, they're only publishing out for the next quarter. So this is what our slated deliverables are looking forward for the next quarter type of deal. Customer feedback in terms of feature requests and functionality is a big one for us.
Yep.
So we are constantly, and Issuetrak's been out 20 plus years. So we got 20 plus years of customer suggestions rolling into this. So, when we're on calls, they got to play 2 or 3 rounds to stump the expert before we can't give them that functionality that they're looking for. But we do have the product feedback. So again, another web form, you can fill it out, talk about what in the application it relates to. Give us your contact info if you want to. So this, when you fill this out, it goes to the product owner. So John Rivera, this is the guy who's taking all of the suggestions from customers and our internal stuff, massaging it into the development queue with the CEO of the company. These get published out internally on our Slack channel. Every employee gets them. Your account manager will get this emailed to you. So, and I'll see the name, I'll read it and say, oh yeah, Sally, it's so-and-so. Hey, we can do that. Let me call up Sally and say, hey, I saw your request in there. Are you talking about this functionality? Here, let me do a screen share and show you how to make that happen in your site. It's already there.
Perfect. I love that. So for time's sake, I want to see if anybody has any questions. But while they are thinking of what they may have to ask, I want to ask you, Tony, what is your key takeaway from working with this customer and taking them from you don't have what I offer to, oh my God, you do have everything and then some?
Oh, the key takeaway. Oh, geez. Business evolves.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly evolving. Okay. A 15-year-old company running a help desk, they're not operating the help desk 15 years ago the same way they are operating today.
Yes.
Your Issuetrak needs constant tweaking, whether it's changing the task manager, whether it's checking your configuration to make sure it's supporting your operations. And we do this internally. We review our internal sites every 3 months. We have a quick meeting. So any tweaks are done. My customer hadn't done any tweaks for 15 years. So the tweaks are going to be closer to open heart surgery for his site. So that's the takeaway.
I do love that. For me, it would be communication is key. And we try to stay in touch with everybody as much as we can, but we can't fix what we don't know. And what I love about Issuetrak is we mold to your business. Now, I know that we're showing you all help desk, but you can picture this to work for your HR department, your customer service department. I mean, we really can mold to you because we are so customizable. But we want to be able to help you, and we've got to know what's going on. Excuse me, here I am. I'm like out the window now. But we love that you guys joined us today. We love showing you guys a little bit more of our software, getting a little bit more in depth, showing you some of our amazing add-ons. Whether you are a customer or looking to learn more, we would definitely love to hear from you all. We would love to meet you. I am in Hampton Roads, and so I would love to meet anyone that's in the Hampton Roads area. If anyone is interested in learning more, or if you're ready for a demo, please reach out to us. You can always reach us at sales@issuetrak.com. Or if you would like to meet up, we would be glad to meet up with you in person here in Hampton Roads. And on that note, we will see you guys next time.